Alright, welcome back guys to another episode of Farming Simulator. Today we went to go get a thing of seed, which is for this, and some fertilizer, which is for this, and we had to do that so we could haul, or so we could plant this field up here, which is what we're going to do here in just a minute. And I had to buy a different trailer, which is why this trailer is not working, or why the other trailer wasn't working, I don't know. But boy, do we got some stories for you today. So while we're working on this land over here, we're going to be telling some stories. So that is where we're at right now. I'm going to park this trailer back over here for a minute, where the other one was. The other one's just chilling at the shop. I'm going to have to get rid of it because it doesn't do seed and fertilizer. It just does grain, unfortunately. Let me pull this baby in here, and then we will get to work. Uh-oh. Get off there. Alright, we're going to take this thing up here, and we're going to pull it back in the shop. And then we're going to go fill up that Amazon planter. That's what it's called. I was thinking of that earlier. I was calling it a seeder and fertilizer, but it is a planter. So that is what that is. Alright, right there. Alright, we'll shut that dude off. Let's go out here and let's hop in the John Deere, the 6250R Black Edition, and we're going to get started on this process. Guess I better crank it up first. Alright, let's roll. Actually, we'll probably take this way. Alright, what do you think we should plant today? I'm thinking soybeans. I mean, we got the harvester to do it. We got the header to do it. Might as well just do it. I've done them before. How did that road get so screwed up right there? Boy, this grass is taking over. Alright, we're going to pull down here and we're going to load her up. And then we're going to get to it. There we go. Now we're full. Alright, now we're ready to get to the field. Alright, so we got a couple stories today. One story is regarding, this is real life stories. This is not farming simulator stories. This is stuff that happened in real life, and this actually happened. It's happened to us. Meaning me, my grandpa, my brother, Ryan, and all of us. Okay, so story number one, it dates back to 2004, I believe it was, maybe 2006. No, it had to be 2006 because that's when we first got that 06 Tacoma. So we had a rental property in Dallas, North Carolina, and basically what this place was, or what this place is, it's where my mom and them live now, but we had renters out there, and they were not paying the bills, obviously, and they decided to, or we decided to evict them because obviously not paying bills, so it's time to go. So we decided to go ahead and evict them. And when we done that, they had a building out there, you know, like an old outbuilding type deal, where it was just, you know, it was like maybe, I don't know, maybe a 10 by 10 or something not too crazy big, but it wasn't small either. So they had that out there, and my granddad had this awesome idea to go get it, and he wanted to bring it back to the farm here and set it up. And I will show you this building in a video that I do in real life again. And I'll show you the video and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, we pretty much went home in our new, well, almost new 2006 Toyota Tacoma. No, it was, because Dad had the 06 Tundra that I drive right now, and Fred had the 2006 Tacoma. So that's how that worked. So anyway, we go back to the house, we pick up the trailer, we make sure everything's all hooked up nice and neat. You know, we got our chains on there, man, we got our electrical connections on there, we got supposedly the ball hooked up properly. Now, if you know how a trailer does, it has this little hook latchy thing that you push down, and it pushes pressure onto the ball, and as long as it's latched, it stays attached. Well, for whatever reason, ours was somewhat messed up. So we're over there, we hook it up, and we think it's all nice and tight and good to go. And we're all right, let's go ahead, let's head out, and let's go do this. So, you know, and keep in mind, instead of paying a tow company $50 to go pick up this building and have it done in an hour, we decided to do it our own way, which is a freeway. And yeah, so here's how this ended. So we go over there, we leave the house, everything's going good. We turn right out of our driveway, or turn left out of the driveway, and then we turn right off the side road we live off of, and we go down the road about a quarter mile. So now we're about a half a mile away from the house, and there is a creek down there. Obviously, there's a bridge, and it was one of them old concrete bridges, you know, not the one that's, you know, smooth across there. It's concrete, and it goes blah 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 blah. How'd it go again, bro? And it goes blah 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 blah. You know, when you go over it. Well, we was doing that, and evidently when we hit that bump, the trailer, little latch thing, I guess decided to come loose. And it was probably the third bump in, it come completely off the truck, and we felt it jerk just a little bit. Granddad never felt it, and he's just sitting there driving along, you know, having a good day and just chilling and talking to us, and all of a sudden I felt that jerk, and I looked behind us, and here comes this trailer, you know, coming around us. So I look over there, I look at Granddad, and I say, "Hey, Fred, look to your left." He looks over, and he goes, "That's our trailer." I'm like, "Uh-huh." And he said, "Holy moly, that's our trailer." And then next thing you know, this trailer it goes past the bridge. It clips the edge of the concrete rail on the bridge, and then it skids it out straight. Now, keep in mind, this is a single axle trailer, and it's coming by us. We're doing probably 50 miles an hour, and it goes right in front of us. So it goes around us, and it cuts back over to the left really quick, hits the rail, and then shoots itself back straight, and then veers off and goes over a embankment down into the creek bed. Okay? So this trailer at this point is screwed over. So Fred's like, "All right, well, let's go ahead and let's pull over up here. Let's figure out how we're going to do this." So we get out of the truck, and we're sitting on the side of the road for, I don't know, probably 10, 15 minutes. And we're trying to figure out how in the world we're going to do it. Well, a couple cops rolled by. They just kind of look at us. You know, they didn't stop or anything. And we're just kind of sitting there, you know, waving at them, whatever. They don't ever stop. And then finally, they flip around. They come back, and they figure out what's going on. And we're like, "Yeah, our trailer came off. It's sitting down in the gully." He looked down there. He's like, "Sucks to be you." You know, he didn't really do anything about it. And he just hopped in his car and took off. So, you know, he was a big help for us. And then We were probably there another hour and a half. Felt like a doggone week, but we were there a good little while. And then here comes this F-350. Probably it was brand new at the time, but well, it was somewhat brand new. It was an 04. And he come down there, and he had one of them service beds on it, you know what I'm talking about? And it has the crane on it and whatnot. And it has like this big welder up there, and then the big compressor and all that stuff. Man, this guy had it all decked out. And he pulls up, and he's like, how's it going, boys? And it's not too good, you know. We got this trailer hung down here in the bank, you know, it's sitting in the riverbed. And he's like, man, I could probably get that out of there for you. He's this guy, he's young, muscular guy, big old tall, you know. He hops off his truck here, and he grabs that crane thing, and he gets the steel cable off of it, hops down in there, hooks it up around the what you call it, the rails, and it goes back up to the thing, grabs his remote, and starts pulling it, and you can hear it binding up in there. And all of a sudden, the right side of his truck kind of flips up. The two right side tires, well, it was two tires in the back. It was a dually, but it had the service bed on it. So it was the back axle and the front axle on the right side was totally off the ground. Okay, it was about 2 foot in the air. I mean, that truck was about to flip over. And I'm over there like, ho, 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 dude, wait a minute, you know. And he goes over and looks at it, and he drops that thing back down, and he said, all right, that ain't going to work. He said, let me get my winch on it. So he hooked that winch up to it, man. He went back over there across the road, and somebody's up there directing traffic, you know. They stop, and they pull off, and they doing this and that. And he's trying to pull this trailer across the road. He's got it, like, wedged between two trees, and it is hooked up to his truck. And he's kind of just sitting there. He's got one of them nice bumpers on the front, you know, big old steel bumper. And he's got it hooked up on this tree thing so it doesn't pull his truck in there. And then he just, you know, starts pulling that thing up. And sure enough, it come right out of there. That dude said, man, he said, you had that thing stuck pretty good. He said, what happened, man? We told him about it, you know. And he's like, man, that sucks. He said, well, he said, y'all having a pretty bad day. He said, I'm not going to charge you for stopping. So that was real good. So big shout out to that guy. I don't even know who he was, man, but big shout out to him. He come out there. He done all the work. He had the power tools and stuff, man. He got it right out of there for us. So a big old shout out to that man. And I had another time with that trailer. This is a similar story, but it's not as fun, I guess, because this involves me and Ryan. This was a more recent story. This was about a year ago or so, and probably was a year ago. But anyway, we had got a call to go do some tractor work in Shelby, North Carolina, and that's probably a 45-minute ride from our house. So you know, it wasn't too far. And we didn't have that Sure Track trailer at the time. This is why we bought that Sure Track trailer, because we needed one. But anyway, we go there, and we had this old rink-a-dink trailer, the one that went down in the bank. I was like, all right, dude, so let's go ahead. I mean, that trailer was probably a 2002 model, and this was 2018. So it was, you know, 16 years old. So we was like, all right, dude, so let's go ahead, let's pull this tractor, and let's go do this tractor work. So we get ready to get the trailer together, and we're, you know, getting ready to go, and the wheels are kind of wobbly. So we're like, you know what, man, I don't think we've ever replaced the wheel bearings on this trailer. So we was like, all right, well, let's just go ahead and let's run the Tractor Supply right quick. I got the whole kit down there. You know, it's $100. We'll go fix it real quick. And so we go down there, we get all that, we get the grease and everything we need, and we'll spend up like $150 and get everything. We go back to the shop, we get everything lifted up on the trailer, pop off the old wheels, get the whole hubs off there, and get the bearings loose, and we get everything clean, and get the spindle all nice and clean. Then we start greasing everything up, pop that hub on there, get the bearings all in, get everything nice and good, put our lock nuts on it, put the carter pin back in there on both sides, and put the wheels back on it. Man, we drop that thing down, and it's sitting pretty. So we're like, all right, let's go ahead and let's load this tractor up and let's get everything ready. Let's hook it all up to the truck, so so we're ready to go. And Ryan elected me to drive a truck, so I was like, all right, I'll pull a tractor, ain't no problem. So I get it all hooked up, get the chains hooked up and everything. We're all ready to go. And at the time, he had a Buick. It was old Buick LeSabre, and he was having issues with the sensors not being able to pass inspection. So we was like, all right, well, why don't we just do this? I said, Chuck, he lives up there in the outskirts of Shelby. I don't know what town name it is, but anyway, he lives up there. And we was like, all right, so we'll just go and we'll go up there, and you get to drive the Buick, and I'll just take a truck, and then that way when we get done doing the tractor work, we'll just leave a tractor there, and then we'll ride in the Buick and go to Chuck's and let him get that fixed, and then we'll be done, and then we can just come back, pick up the truck and tractor, and we'll come home, So that was our plan. That's what we were going to do. And it's funny how plans don't never work out. So anyway, we get going in this freshly new wheel hubs and everything, and we get ready to go. We're all loaded down, and we get up to the top of our road, and we take a left, and we start cruising up. We get about half a mile or so, and all of a sudden, the back of my Tundra just starts shaking real bad. I mean real bad. And I look back there, and I look at them wheels, and they're all wobbling, like a thing, and it just wobbled really bad. And I said, all right, I got two options here. I said, I can either keep going or I can pull over. I said, I'm going to take option number 2. I'm going to pull over. So I got ready to pull over, found me a nice good spot to go, went over there, and sure enough, as soon as I get pulled over, them wheels just fall off. Well, the left wheel did. The left wheel fell right off. The right wheel's still in good shape, but the left one fell right off. So I was like, well, now we got to get this fixed. So we had to figure all that out, and turns out we called a rollback. He come down there, he picked it up, and he loaded it up and brought it back to the house. It sat in the house for about a couple of weeks, and then finally we sold the old trailer, and I had enough money to go ahead and buy a new one, so I went ahead and bought a better one. It's a 7x16 Sure Track powder coated trailer, dual axle, electric brakes, toolbox, all the whole 9 yards on that trailer. So it's a whole lot better than what we had. So we got that done, and yeah, I think I've had my fair share of trailer work and stuff that's happened. Oh, and another story about that Buick. So we didn't go that, I don't know, we might have went that night. But it might have been after we got everything home. We said, all right, well, we didn't get to do tractor work. Let's just go ahead and let's just take this Buick and get it knocked out so that way it'll be ready to go. I said, all right, ain't no problem, So me and Ryan, we hop in the Buick and we head up to Chuck's, and we let Chuck work on it and whatnot. He's already got the parts and everything, so he just throws everything in and cleared all the codes and whatnot, and took him an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. We got everything done, and it was dark by this point, and we got ready to leave, and this was like, I don't know, this was probably like February, so it was like freezing cold outside, and especially at night. So we was leaving, we pulled out, we took a left out of Chuck's driveway, went around this real long curve, and as soon as we come around this curve, there was a cop sitting up there on the left. And I said, there's Shelby police. I didn't think anything about it. Neither Ryan, he kept on driving, And a little bit later on, them blue lights flipped on, and sure enough, they were after us. So we pulled over, and we're just sitting in this car, thinking, man, why in the world are we getting pulled over? Well, the cop comes up. He said, hey, man, let me go ahead and get some driver's license, all the basic stuff. And he said, you know why I pulled you over? And Ryan said, no, sir, I have no idea. Well, no, he did say, he said it's probably because that tag back there, because at the time his tag was expired. Well, it wasn't, it was expired, but he had a grace period with the thing, with the DMV, so you could go like an additional 10 days or whatever past your due date. And he said, probably because that tag's dead. He said, no, sir. I mean, you do have a dead tag, but, you know, you got the grace period or whatever. He said, no, I'm pulling you over because you got burned out tail light. So, you know, all of this. And then the passenger, and another cop, it was a union unit, so he came up there and he was like, hey, man, I need to go and get your license too. He said, you got them on you? I said, yeah, I got them. I said, all right, let me go ahead and get them. So, you know, he took them from me and he went back and had a concealed carry at the time. And he pretty much, he came back up to the car and he was like, you got a concealed carry permit. He said, are you carrying? I said, no. He said, well, you're supposed to tell me if you got a concealed carry permit or not. Now, I don't know how true that is. I mean, I thought if you had a gun, yeah, you got to tell them. But if you ain't got a gun, you don't have to tell them. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I guess it sparked his interest because, sure enough, he wanted to search the vehicle. So he was like, go ahead and step out for me. We're going to go ahead and search the vehicle. So he went ahead and searched the vehicle and didn't find anything. And, dude, I'm going to tell you what. The way Ryan was, the way he was shivering and stuff, man, he was acting so suspicious. He was so nervous. Like they was going to find something in the Buick. I had no idea. I hope they didn't. And I was sitting there thinking, man, he is shaking like crazy. I mean, it was cold out there. And then this other cop was just standing there staring at us. You know, and I'm like, and we started talking to him, you know, you ain't cold or nothing, you know, and he was in there, he was just wearing like a long sleeve shirt, and that was it. He didn't have a jacket on or nothing. I mean, it was freezing out there. Me and Ryan had these jackets on, and we were froze. But he was like, no, I'll get used to it, man. So, but anyway, good news is they didn't find anything. We didn't have anything. We don't do that anyway. So they didn't find nothing, so all was good there. But we did get pulled over, and they did search us, so it was one of those deals. But anyway, that's it for story time, guys. That's going to do it for this video. I do appreciate you watching. If you like this kind of video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And be sure to have your notifications on so you'll be notified every time I upload a brand new video. We almost got this field done. So we're going to go ahead and call it quits here, guys. I do appreciate you tuning in. And we will be sure and catch you on our next episode. Peace.